Hi, I'm the car I hope my parents are buying today.
Hi, I'm those colored soccer balls from elementary school.
Just kidding! I'm Jess.
I'm Kendall.
This is a JK podcast.
And this is Halli.
This is our special guest. You want to go again?
Well, there's my embarrassing story.
Believe that.
This is our first episode with a guest. This
Yay!
is Halli.
Introducing Halli.
Yes.
That was an awkward
We
wave.
love
Hello.
It's okay.
Just asked to be.
Are you sure you're comfortable like that,
I'm
bending over?
always comfortable.
Okay.
Can,
Is my
We're just
umbrella
not gonna talk
showing?
about
That's my broken umbrella.
Hallie's sitting in the back seat for just the listeners.
Oh,
That's how
yeah.
that's working.
But,
She's just sitting in the back.
Yes.
We're in a car.
So yeah, we're in a car.
Kendall sits in the driver's
Driver's
seat.
seat.
I sit in the passenger seat.
And
And
I'm
then-
in the back.
Yeah.
For today.
Yes.
We got guests in the back.
Guests will be in the back. So, but today, Halli already said it, but we're going to be talking about embarrassing stories.
Hallie introduced our topic of the day.
I don't know how long this is going to be because I feel like all mine are very short.
It's okay. I have a lot of them, even though I think mine are pretty short too.
Yours is so much longer than mine.
Listen, I get embarrassed. I have a lot of embarrassing stories. Also, there's another thunderstorm coming.
Oh, yeah. I don't
And
remember.
Hallie's gonna share some. We have Hallie, so it'll work.
Oh, that's
She's gonna
true.
even out.
10 minutes ago, she was like, I don't have any.
Have some now.
Oh, Hallie's thinking.
Okay.
Thought of it. Okay.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Not it.
Do you want to go first?
Okay.
Okay, because you knew what you're talking about. I wrote
Um,
mine today.
Okay. I think should I start with my worst?
Sure.
Okay. I guess I'll start with my worst embarrassing story, which I don't know if a lot of people would consider it embarrassing, but like it was mortifying, and I don't know if you know which one it is. So
Oh, okay.
So I'm a film major. I guess I'll just jump right into it. And it literally happened not this past semester because that was spring. It's the semester before in the fall. I have peanuts in my teeth and I can feel them.
Did you have a drink?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
I do. It was just funny. I was like, I have peanuts in my teeth. I just ate peanuts before we recorded this. So I'm a film major, and in my film 1 class, basically, which is like the basics of filmmaking, like you learn everything, and you do a lot of actual like filmmaking. Like that's the 1 class. Well, like film 1, film 2, and film 3 are the 3 classes where you're like fully just making different films and videos. And well, specifically in film 1 you make a few, but film 2 and film 3 you mostly focus on making like a longer short film the entire time. But in film 1 you're making a whole bunch of different stuff. And so one of our short films was focused on teaching us lighting. And so the whole point of that film is that you're supposed to film at night so that the teacher can see that you did good lighting. And apparently nobody told me that, and I was in a group, and I don't know how nobody in my group knew either. Apparently we're all just idiots. I wasn't in a great group anyway. I was with a bunch of kids who definitely did not know what they were doing, and I was like, me and this one girl were the only 2 people who were doing like all of the work. And so then I hated this project already. I was like ranting to my parents. It was this whole long problematic project of like we couldn't find actors, and like all this stuff just kept happening. We had to have so much equipment because we needed all the lights and all this stuff, and I'm just like, so we needed a location, and then we were using this one guy's apartment, and it reeked of weed, and it was awful, and I was like getting a headache because it smelled so bad in there. And the one girl was like getting distracted by like talking to his roommate and like flirting with one of the kids in our group, his roommate, because we filmed at his apartment, and I just, oh my gosh, it was the worst experience ever. So I go through all of this and I make the final film, and it's fine. Like we filmed during the day, but like it's fine. But then when we presented to the teacher and like we're watching everyone's, and I don't know how I didn't notice that all the rest were at night, because I still didn't know that I was supposed to film it at night. And so I'm like, I'm kind of okay with the final like product of it. I'm like, this was awful, but we did it. We're watching it in class, whatever. My teacher goes and he turns on the lights after watching our film, and I can see that he is pissed. And I was like, I don't know why he's pissed. Like, I know it wasn't that great, but I'm like, I don't know. And then he's like, so what was the entire point of this project? And we're all like, lighting, like that's what the whole point is. He's like, so everyone else films at night. You're supposed to film at night. That's the whole point. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was just mortifying because he just like ripped into our project and nobody else in our group would speak. Like he was like, did you guys even use lights? Like we literally had a kid who raised her hand, who I ended up like working on another project with her later. Like she's nice, but like she was like, did you even use lights? And I was like, we did. And thank God a part of the project was you did have to take pictures of your lighting setup so that he could like look at them and evaluate them, and we did take pictures. We nearly forgot to. If we had forgotten, I think we would have failed that project because we couldn't have convinced him that we actually were using lights because you could see the light coming through his windows. But they were like, oh, you could have made this work if you like put like trash bags on the windows or like had done anything to make it like so that the natural light wasn't coming in at all. But I worked so hard on that project just to be mortified when everyone ripped into it because we didn't film at night, and I cried the entire drive home because I'm a commuter. So the entire ride home I had to hold back tears, and I remember texting my mom after we went on break because that class only meets once a week, so we got like a break midway because it's like 2 hours long. And on break, I remember just texting my mom being like, I want to cry. I gotta leave. Like, should I leave? Like, I don't know what to do, but if I leave, I'm gonna feel worse. And just no one else in my group was helping me out. Like, the entire time that they were, like, questioning us and asking us stuff, I was like, yeah, we use lights. Like, I just had the biggest lump in my throat. And it's, like, I think the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me because I felt so bad. And I wanted to be like, we didn't know. Like, I don't know how we were so dumb. But no one else in my group knew either. So it's not even just, it made it feel like it was all my fault because also I was the director. And the director takes all the blame for everything in a film. And so I put so much pressure on myself. And then even, like, after I cried on the way home, when I was, like, recounting it to my mom and dad, I started like crying again, and it was just so bad, and then my brother had to like come comfort me, and I just was so embarrassed in general because I hate crying in front of people. So it was just this whole awful experience, and it's the worst thing I've ever gone through. So yeah, really good times. I don't know if it's technically embarrassing or not, but
it's just like a anxiety-inducing situation.
Yeah, that's my most embarrassing.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's my own dumb fault, but I didn't get to really, like... Did I pick groups for that? I don't remember how that... No, I don't think we did. I think I got placed in that group, and it sucked.
I remember you telling me about, like, when all that happened and, like, going down to try and film and everything.
Yeah, because I think I hung out with you the day... Like, after we filmed.
Yeah.
I hung out with you right after we filmed. It was the same day, but it was right after.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And I was like, yeah, it smelled so bad in there and all this. Like, honestly, the entire product was awful. So then to just end it with, like, a bang of, like, awfulness and embarrassingness is, like, yeah.
This is why I can't say your other
I did pass the class. I got an A in there somehow. I don't know how, because I never found out what grade I got on that project, and I did not.
Oh, see, that's me.
That project definitely got, like, a C or something, because there's no way.
Do I have to tell mine? Mine aren't even bad. They're not that bad. They're all from when I was younger, so they don't count.
Yeah. No, they still count, though. I mean, I have ones from when I was younger. I think they still count.
I could not read what that said.
You just wrote it like 2 minutes ago.
I know, but it doesn't mean I can read my own handwriting. Okay, whatever. I'll just start with one. This is the one I've kind of like always gone to, even though I don't remember it really being that embarrassing. I don't know. Maybe I was like 8, maybe 7. My sister and I used to always like dance for some reason. Like we always just used to dance together. Like we would play music and dance together, like make up like dance routines and stuff. And but this time we had a friend that was like a family friend that was there, and I think there was another one for some reason. So I think it was, it had to have been, because I think that was the reason I was embarrassed, because I think it was a guy family friend. So I think that was the reason that I got embarrassed.
Okay.
But so we were in our like the big room at Dad's, like where the computer and stuff and everything is. And I guess there was music, and I had jeans on, and we were dancing. And I went, because I was super flexible when I was younger, and we were dancing, and then I went into a split, and my jeans just went rip. There's a child in your driveway. Anyways, but my jeans just ripped at the crotch. Oof. And I
did you
like
recover?
ran into my dad's room and I like sat there and I started crying. And then I guess they brought me, I don't know, some kind of other pants. That must have been my like athletic like long pant things I always used to wear. And I think it was with our family friend that she like came in and she was like, "Oh, it's okay, like don't worry about it, like you're fine."
You were like 8, so
yeah. So and then I changed my pants and then I came back out and she was like, she said something because she was what, like maybe she was like 11. She was like, "Introducing the new Kendall" or something like that. But like that's like my most embarrassing one I think of. But that was the reason that I didn't wear jeans for years.
That's the story.
Yes.
Because you were scared you were gonna rip them again.
I guess
You were gonna
because I didn't
spastically go into a split. In your
no
jeans.
because I didn't like not being flexible in them.
Oh.
So up until
Huh.
probably like I guess maybe 6th grade I started wearing them, but it was
Wow.
more so like 7th and 8th grade that I started wearing them more.
That's funny.
But
6th grade.
yeah,
you
no,
were still
from literally like 1st grade all the way through probably like halfway through 6th grade, I didn't wear jeans. Never. I hated them because I didn't like not being flexible.
You're like, I need my mobility.
Well, because I just remember in elementary school kids always being like, "I heard you can do a split," and I'm like, "Yeah." And then they're like, "Can you do it?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then I just do it like while we were like not reading,
Oh my
but
gosh!
like in
I
the
don't
middle of class.
remember you doing that ever. I guess
Oh,
I never asked
really?
you to do it.
No.
Can you do a split?
Not anymore. If I stretched for like 3 days, maybe.
Oh my
Let's get
gosh! I
cracking.
couldn't even
expect
get
to
close.
see it Monday morning.
Oh god. 7 a.m.
Soon as you walk through the doors at work.
You're just
I
gonna
could do it in the
split
parking
middle
lot.
of a grocery
In the
store.
It's like down the stairs.
Yeah. I could do it on the railing. But yeah, I mean that's my first one. I guess I don't know. The other one's kind of. I don't know. I did a lot of things when I was younger. There's only one thing that's sort of recent. I guess there's 2 that's recent. That's like personally
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hallie?
True.
I feel like I can't think of any that are like just one incident that's embarrassing other than that grammar. But no, I'm just clumsy. And I just make a fool of myself all the time. Like Kendall and I work together, and so probably every shift that we work together,
At least once.
I run into something and
Yeah.
almost knock it over or knock
fall.
myself over.
Or trip
Or
over yourself.
The best one, I trip over myself.
Yeah.
And my foot will, like, my toes will catch, and then I'll just go. And everyone in the front knows, so they all make fun of me for it. And one kid, he was, like, walking past my register one day, and was like, "Oh!" and, like, fell down. And I was like,
See, whenever that happens, so many people do that at work. I always, like, pretend like I didn't see it.
it's, like,
Because
in
I'm
between the
nice.
green doors. I just
Oh.
go down.
Oh, bro. In
It's
between the
always
green
in there.
doors. Yeah.
That's where all the fun happens, because nobody can see you unless they're coming out of the bathroom.
Yeah. That's...
Yikes.
Yeah. There's my body making noises again.
Oh, I didn't hear it because I was
Oh.
hearing like
I heard,
something.
like, cars.
There's
Is that
like a plane
cows?
or something passing. Yeah, there's
there's
cows.
I knew that.
That's good.
But yeah, you run into displays a lot. We work at a grocery store. I think I've said that before.
Yeah, I think-
But
They stock stuff.
yeah, and she runs into displays a lot, or the stool.
At least twice. Oh my gosh. The stool. Or
Yeah.
sometimes
Isn't there
I
something
look
with
at
the
the
carts?
stool.
Or something.
What?
Oh,
Oh,
we don't do the
carts.
carts anymore.
Carts are bad.
That's bad for
That's
everyone,
one
but
of-
especially
That's a
me.
very embarrassing thing every time. If you cannot get more carts than you think you can handle.
No.
Oh
Like-
no.
Three blue carts max if there's enough room in there.
Okay, but you know how in elementary school everyone would compete to see who's the most athletic?
Yeah.
It's like everyone competes now to see how many carts they can get.
I know, bro.
Anyway.
But yeah,
I don't know.
That's a good
also, one more thing about me being clumsy.
Go ahead.
We have the stairs to get from the parking lot
oh
to the
my
store
lord.
are just not good, especially for me because I
That's-
have the coordination of a baby deer.
That's not
Like,
a,
that is just-
that's not even like a
I'm
personal
surprised I
problem.
haven't fallen yet.
Those stairs were the worst stairs that someone has ever made. They are none of them, like, not even 2 are the same size. Like, they're all, like
depth,
one's,
length,
one's, like 1 foot, the other one's, like, 4 feet wide, the other one's, like, 2 feet. Like,
what the heck?
they're so
Who
bad.
made them?
I
So,
think they're the reason I have knee problems.
I have a lot of knee problems because of my family.
Oh,
But,
So yeah, link in
Yes.
the description for a GoFundMe to get new stairs.
honestly, can
the
we?
grocery store.
I would do it.
Right?
It's so funny.
But yeah, that's my most embarrassing thing is I'm just clumsy.
It's okay.
It's alright.
We have a lot
Yeah.
of clumsy people, though. Alright,
I
Jess.
disagree. Okay, I thought of another really embarrassing moment. I was talking to my mom last night trying to figure out what embarrassing moments I've had, because I think I block them out of my memory as a way to cope.
I probably do the
As a
same.
way
That's
to
why I
cope
can't
with
think of
them.
any.
Yeah, it took me a while. It took my mom being like, oh, well, there was like this time that it was embarrassing, and I was like, I don't even remember what you're talking about, so I don't know if it was really that embarrassing for me. But I don't know how I thought of this, but there was a time, so I used to go to religious ed, because you have to like go to religious ed in order to like get confirmed, because I'm Catholic, and so I would go to religious ed like once a week, and I would like never talk, because this was in 8th grade, and so I would like never speak to anyone, and I was just like really self-conscious because it was middle school, and so I was just really anxious and just nervous around people in general. But I remember my mom called me for whatever reason. I don't know if it was like before, I think it must have been, oh, you're fine, before like class started or something. So we were just like sitting there, and it was just like a bunch of other like 8th grade girls. Like our class was kind of small, and I didn't really like know the other girls like very well, because I wasn't like talking to them. So like we were like kind of friends, because we would see each other every week, like once a week, but like they would mostly talk to like each other, and then I would just like be on the outskirts as like the shy kid. And so I don't know why my mom called me, but she did. And so I don't remember what she was even talking about, but I remember suddenly like I'm like into this conversation with my mom, just like, oh yeah, whatever. And then I get like really self-conscious thinking about everyone's listening to me having this conversation with my mom on the phone right now. And so suddenly I got so self-conscious, because we're nearing the end of the conversation. I'm like, I'm gonna have to say like, love you, bye. And I was like, I don't want to say love you for some, like in front of these kids. I don't know, I got so nervous about them listening to me. So I just hung up. And they obviously were listening to me, because then I was like, oh, maybe it's just all in my head. They weren't listening at all. No, they were, because they were like, why did you just hang up on that person? Did you just hang up on your mom? Why would you do that? You didn't say goodbye. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful, because then I felt bad for my mom on the other end, because I didn't say goodbye. And like, why would I not say goodbye?
Right.
But I was just so like, I just panicked, and I just hung up. And it was so embarrassing, because I was like, I don't know. And I think I literally said like no or something. It was just like straight up like lied. Like I was just like, I don't know or something. I don't know what I said, but it was so embarrassing, and I wanted to die, because I was like, I don't even know these kids, and they're cooler than me, and I don't know what I'm doing, and why were they listening to my conversation? And it was just a mess. So that's like a really embarrassing specific moment. That was bad. I feel like I had a lot of embarrassing moments that year. Oh, in religious ed.
Okay. Okay, so this next one was actually like super embarrassing. It wasn't.
Oh,
I guess it wasn't that long ago.
oh goodness. I don't know what
It
you're
was with
talking
you.
about, but I'm assuming because you looked at me that it was with me, but I'm like, I don't know what you're
got
talking about.
coffee stain on it,
Ooh.
or some kind of.
I was gonna say,
stain.
it shouldn't be coffee because you don't drink coffee, but it
No.
looks like coffee.
I don't drink tea.
Oh, yeah, or
Anyways.
tea.
We were at. I guess is it? We can say college names. I don't think that matters, does it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we were at UMBC
Oh, okay.
And,
yeah,
to see the comedy show,
yeah.
and we were walking with Jess and her brothers, and
Yeah.
her brothers and her brother's friend,
Which is the whole reason we were on campus anyway. We were seniors. This was our senior
Yeah.
year.
and,
I still don't know what you're gonna say, but I know this time. I know what you're
Well,
talking about.
so on their campus they have like a bunch of those just like huge like poles that have the lights on, like the lights around them.
Yeah.
Like so like cars don't drive through on the sidewalk or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
we were all walking and I
it was-
just straight up ran into it.
I barely
You don't remember that? Oh my
I
god, I
don't.
was so embarrassed.
I barely remember that at all.
Oh my
And it was
god.
nighttime, right?
Uh-huh.
This was after
So
the comedy
I
show.
ran right into it and I was just like, oh, and then I just like held on to you and I was like,
Oh, I
ah.
don't really barely remember that.
But they were all dying, and I was just like, yeah, I just straight up did not see that.
Oh
wait.
that would be really embarrassing.
And then, I guess this doesn't relate to it at all, but this is also another short one that just reminded me.
Yeah.
When I did field hockey my freshman year in high school, I didn't have my glasses on.
Oh no.
And we were running at our old high school.
Yeah.
We were running a run that we don't normally do, or we didn't normally do because it's not like a run anymore. There was a really skinny metal pole that had a bird box on top of it, and we were running and we ran past that, but I didn't run into it, but like I got real close to it, and like I think I caught myself like this.
Wow.
And then like ran around, so everybody was like dying laughing, and I was like, I can't see.
So Kendall's stories are
But,
she
yeah.
runs into things a lot apparently.
Yeah.
I barely remember that one at UMBC.
Oh my god, I was dying because they were all laughing, and I was like, hi, yeah.
I think I was just really concerned about you, and I was like, are you okay? Are you
Yeah, no,
fine?
that
I don't
just,
even
like,
remember them laughing or anything.
It didn't hurt, but like I just like ran into my stomach.
Oh.
But yeah.
Wow.
So there's
Yeah, that would be rough.
Yeah.
That was an interesting time.
Yeah.
That field hockey one reminds me of I blocked this one from my memory. It was 8th grade gym class. We were learning the different track and field.
Oh,
So
okay.
like shot put,
yeah.
long jump,
Yeah.
hurdles.
Oh,
And I was
no.
racing with my best friend at the time. And she went down. They were just like the plastic hurdles that didn't hurt or anything.
Yeah.
So she went down. So I turn around while I'm still running, and then I like tumble over, and I go so far, and everyone saw me do it, but nobody saw her do it. And she had like grass stains. This was the day before our 8th grade dance, and we all had like short dresses. She had grass stains below her knees, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, Halli, are you okay?" And I was just laughing, and like nobody knew that the other girl did it first, and they all thought that I was just clumsy. I was like, yeah, I'm clumsy, but I'm not the only one. Stop giving me all the attention.
Yeah. Like
so
no one else saw her.
That was fun though.
Dude,
That's why I don't do physical activities.
Right?
I could not ever do
falling
those
down in
hurdles.
public is just like
So
worst.
awkward.
Oh my gosh,
I've done
and,
it a
like-
lot, but I think I blocked it all out because I don't
think
remember
I have
it.
too, but I don't remember either.
Every single one of my middle school crushes were in that class.
Oh.
At the same time, like all of you had multiple crushes on multiple guys.
Unlike
I was being
no.
dramatic.
Oh.
No, I mean, big shocker, I know. But no, like my 6th grade crushes, my 7th grade crushes. Like,
okay.
cause you gotta rotate. You
That
need
sounds
some
like
options.
sense.
Yeah.
So because they were all the athletic boys, and I was put in the really athletic gym class.
Oh.
Like,
don't know what that was like.
really, it was not good. But yeah, so they all saw,
Oh.
and then none of them would dance with me at the dance. Probably
It's
because I didn't
okay.
ask any of them. Because
So
I
no
didn't
one
dance
danced with
with
us
anyone
either.
at the dance.
We danced with each other
Yes, we did.
and like our group of friends.
okay, I have one more story.
Go ahead.
Speaking of dances, my senior year homecoming, I was dancing with my friends, all girls,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I wasn't looking behind me, but my one friend was next to me and was nudging me like, "Hey, let's go dance over here." And I
Yeah.
was like, "No, I'm fine here. I like the music here."
Mhm.
And then I feel hands on my waist, and it's this kid that I used to do like Bible school with, and he goes to church with my great aunt, and he's just a gross kid.
Oh.
And I ran away. Like, I didn't say anything. I turned around and just ran.
Absolutely
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I would have just
and
ran.
He did it to
Okay.
like 3 or 4 other girls. And then the
Oh!
final girl was his brother or his sister's best friend. He was like grinding with her. I was like,
Oh my
No,
gosh.
you don't just-
That's
No.
awful.
yeah. And then he DM'd all of us.
That's
like everyone that turned him down, he
disgusting.
DM'd all of us and was like, "I'm so sorry. My actions were inexcusable." Like blah blah blah. So I blocked it.
Good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
need
still
people
scarred
like
for
that.
life anytime anyone ever says his name. Because it's the same name as one of Kendall's old men.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Old men. My old
One of
men.
your old ones.
men. Your old men. Oh.
Oh, yeah, that was gross.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Ookie.
Yeah, that's awful. That's
I just realized that the mic is in the shot,
Oh.
and so is this.
Oh.
We're really good.
We're really
your
good.
steering
We're
wheel's in the shot too. You
professionals.
should cut
It's
that
always
off.
been.
It's always
You
in the
should
shot.
cut it off.
I'm gonna cut it off so
We're
like
gonna,
half
like,
of
cut
my
it-
face will be
Yes.
here.
I'll cut around it.
Yeah, just do a block.
Did you? Are you guys?
See?
I guess you didn't see, but a customer came in today and had like half of a wheel off of one of our carts.
Oh, I
Like,
saw you.
This is in the parking lot, and someone could have tripped over it, so I'm gonna bring it into you.
I just saw like a black piece, and I was like, "What the heck is
Yeah,
that?"
it was a cartwheel. Like,
Cartwheel.
okay, and it was just a chunk of the wheel. It wasn't the whole wheel.
Oh, someone
and
must have
then-
run over it.
I don't know, because then she checked out, and then 5 minutes later comes back in. I have the other half. That wasn't embarrassing,
Oh
but
my
that was a fun
gosh.
story of the day.
Yeah, I saw that you handed something to her, and I was like, what
Yeah,
the
it was
heck
all
is that?
dirty because like the parking lot and the Corona and
Yeah, that parking lot's not clean. No, what parking lot is clean?
That's true.
You're right.
There's no parking lot that's
Yeah.
clean. That's definitely not.
Right. Now I feel like I need to sanitize my hands because you told me that, because I feel like I picked up something dirty.
I have
That's
hand
funny.
sanitizer in my car.
I
when we go
have,
on a
I
field
have
trip.
3 things of hand sanitizer in my car.
Okay,
Like, she
you're
has
cooler
wet
than me. I
wipes.
only have
She has a
2,
bunch of wet
but
wipes.
one of mine has Iron Man on it.
Oh.
So
I win.
This is foaming wet.
She beats you.
Smell good.
Smell hand sanitizer.
Smell
Oh, that
good.
smells nice. I like that.
That smell
Ooh, it's
good.
empty though, because it was almost empty. So
Oh
it's
my
just
gosh,
like chill.
so
I got it from Walmart
cute.
for like $2.
Dude!
It's this or Belle for Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
And
and
definitely
she's my
Iron
favorite
Man.
princess,
Oh,
but Tony
that's a
Stark
heart.
has my heart.
Yeah.
That's right.
Alright,
That's right.
Jess.
Oh, I guess I
So
gotta
your
go back to
turn.
me. Okay. So this is kind of just like for any. I don't know if it's like embarrassing for everyone, but it's kind of embarrassing. It's like that embarrassing like high school moment that when I was going through, it was like, oh, this is what this feels like. Because they always like show it. I feel like in every like coming of age movie, they're like, and then they go to lunch. So they go to lunch. I don't want to spoil what I'm gonna say, but you're gonna hear it in like
Does
a
this
few
involve
seconds
me?
anyway. No.
Oh.
So like sophomore year, I would always, I mean, actually, I guess technically, because I sat with you at lunch always sophomore year. Like, we had a group of friends that we would
We
sit with, not
did.
like a big group of friends or whatever.
It was
but,
a
like,
decent size.
we would take up like the whole table. It was
Yeah.
a whole bunch of us.
Yeah.
Sophomore year, and like I always just like that's kind of like the regular. We would always just take up a whole table, no matter what year of
Yeah.
school we were in. It's like the same, basically the
Except
same
for our
people.
senior year.
Except for our senior year,
It
we
was
sat
literally
just
us
the two of
two.
us. I forgot about that. That was really funny. But yeah, so sophomore year, I think they switched schedules. For some reason, we had like classes switched around. So lunches weren't the same as who they were, like they weren't based off the same class this time. Because it was normally based off like what, your
Your
like third mod, yeah, or whatever. I was gonna call it third period, that's what we used to call it mods.
Mod.
So I always had you in like my third, and we had like fourth mod together and stuff because we would like go together after lunch up to Spanish and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even
sophomore
remember
year.
what our third mod was anymore, but so whatever it was, they switched around the lunch schedule and everyone's classes. So mine was based off of, I think my music class, my chorus class, because I think it was like a half day or something, and so it was the end of the day, and it was
right.
based off of like your last class that you had. And like I didn't really talk to anyone in my chorus class. I would kind of just sit there and like sing and do my thing and then like leave because that was my last class of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But that time, since it was, I think lunch was last, so I had to go to lunch and I had nowhere to sit and I didn't know who to sit with or what to do. And then I ended up like sitting, I think at like our regular spot where we normally sat, and just sat alone. And I felt so awful. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm just sitting here eating lunch alone. This is the stereotype of high school, and I'm living it right now. And then I think I ended up like seeing like friends who my other friends were friends with and like trying to go sit with them, but that just kind of made things awkward. So I don't know. It was just really kind of embarrassing to just sit there alone for like at least part of lunch. I mean, I think I definitely sat there for like 15 minutes and was just like, wow, I'm alone. And it just felt awkward to like eat my food and do anything because I'm like, I just am sitting alone like a loser. Solid times. I loved my sophomore year, but that was
Sophomore
not my
year's-
proudest moment because that really, it's just like a moment where you're just like, I just want to cry and go home. Like
I don't even remember that day.
it was. I wouldn't remember that day if it wasn't for sitting alone at lunch. So
Dang.
yeah.
Alright.
Now I do that in college all the time anyway. So I mean, not all the time because I try not to
I
eat
eat alone in college a lot.
alone, but got me prepped for that, I guess. So I don't know if it's particularly embarrassing, but I guess it kind of is.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, again, it's just like an uncomfortable thing.
It's just
You're
like an awkward.
I feel wrong.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I
feel
was like,
right.
I have friends, but none of them are here.
Right.
So I'm
But-
alone. And it's just weird when everyone else is like, you notice everyone else sitting and laughing with their friends, and you're like, wow, I'm sad. I'm so sad. I don't have anyone to sit with. So that was cool. Also,
That
I
was
like
cool.
That, I like that no one in my chorus class like wanted me to sit with them.
Yeah, well,
You
a lot
can't
of
sit with us.
from
Those
what
are
I
really cool.
remember, a lot of them were not the greatest people.
Good time.
Yeah.
Woo! Sitting by myself.
Or they're just people that have very, very established groups and they don't
Yeah.
break from that.
Yeah.
But anyways, but yeah, I'm sorry.
It's
No,
okay.
I just feel sad for all of you guys.
It happens. That's what an embarrassing moment is. Everyone has them.
Yeah,
You know?
I guess
Sometimes
so.
you sit alone. Now I can say I did that. Like when that trope comes on TV and you're like, oh, it's the kid sitting alone at lunch. That was me. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I mean that's me in college all the time.
Exactly.
I sit in the cafeteria. Thing.
everyone sits alone at some point and they
At
don't
least
have
you were in the
friends, and it's like-
cafeteria and you didn't go hide in a bathroom.
yeah, I honestly should have.
I don't know. I was
But
thinking
I-
about it.
I could have. I honestly probably would have enjoyed my time.
There's a
better.
specific bathroom at school that I go to because I know no one goes in there, and I think it's haunted.
Oh.
I don't know. All
I
the
just use
bathrooms at
something
my school they
specific.
smell yucky. So
I'm
I
sure.
don't
Oh,
Well, you have a lot more
some
people
of
than
my-
I do, and
No, I don't.
a lot more people at your school.
No.
Really?
Definitely
well,
not.
because of my building, we don't have a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
your
people in my
building is
building.
small.
We have small buildings.
I have the most people in my school.
Definitely.
And that's on public schools.
True.
But alright.
Moving on.
So I don't know, like the next three things are like super short that take like 2 seconds to explain.
Okay.
But the one was I remember sometime in elementary school, don't remember what year it was, but I remember I wore my pants backwards and I didn't realize.
Oh, I've done that with my shirt in like 6th grade.
And
Someone
then,
was like, "Is your
and then
shirt
I did it in
backwards?"
middle school with a shirt backwards. But I had my jacket on the whole day.
Or inside out. I think mine was
so-
inside out.
See, I remember the shirt. I don't remember the pants, but I remember the shirt. The shirt was like this blue, like teal shirt that I had and had a pocket on the front. But I've always gotten dressed in the dark.
Yeah.
I don't turn the light on in the morning. So when I put it on, it was just like cold that day. So I had a jacket on the entire day. So like no one knew
Yeah.
because I had a pocket in the back of my.
Aw.
But yeah,
I
and
don't
then
remember you wearing your pants backwards though.
that was sometime in elementary. I think it was like 2nd grade.
I didn't know you then.
No. And then
How did you even manage to do that? What kind of pants were they where you could get away
they
with
were
wearing
like
them backwards?
I think it was like those Adidas ones where they just have the stripes on the sides.
Oh, so no one. How did you even notice? Did you notice or did
No,
someone
someone
else?
else told me.
Oh.
Did they have
Yeah.
like the strings on the front, like the pool?
They didn't even have those. It was
How
just
did
like
they
one of those
know?
elasticy ones.
How did they
Then how did
know?
they know?
Yeah, how did they know?
I don't know. I think that the Adidas logo was on the back instead of the front or wherever it was supposed to be.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that I've I guess it was like 8 o'clock in the morning at work. And I opened, so there was only me and one other register open, and so there was like barely any people in the store. And I just remember I was just so tired. I don't remember what happened the day before, but I like turned to give the customer their receipt and I just said, "Hi, how are you?" So I've done that a lot. I did that night. I think I did that earlier this week
What
too.
did they say? What
But
did they do?
He was just kind of super out of it too. He was just like, and then he left. And he took the receipt and left.
And you were just like,
But-
oh, okay.
Yeah, luckily when I said it earlier this week, he did not hear me.
Oh.
That was good. But, and then the other thing I remember I was at the grocery store with my aunt at the time, and I wasn't looking. And like, you know how you like stand at on the edge of the cart?
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't looking and I stood on the wrong cart. And a guy was like, And then I turned to look, and I was like, wait, you're not my aunt.
Oh, I forgot. I've done that with
And,
my mom at a party. I was like, I wanted to hide from a dog or something, so I like wanted to hide behind her legs, and then I like hugged some random lady's legs, and then I like ran over to my mom once I realized, and because I like looked up and was like, that's not my mom, and then all the adults laughed, and that was kind of embarrassing. I was really little though. I was probably like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think I was, again, a lot of my things happened in like 1st or 2nd grade. But I mean, that's all pretty much of my personally embarrassing stories, but the rest of mine are just like uncomfortable
Oh, okay.
situations.
Yeah. Uncomfortable situations.
Which happen a lot, but I can only think of 3 instances. More like 2. The other one's just general. Sorry.
Halli? Speaking of uncomfortable, I guess it's more just awkward than uncomfortable, but I just don't pay attention to literally anything.
Oh.
Like, I don't know, for anyone watching the video, I don't know if they're gonna be edited out. Probably not, because there are too many of them, but, like, someone's mowing their lawn over here, so I'm just like, huh? But there are cows, and there are, like, people walking and messing with my hair, and I just don't pay attention.
You just have a short attention span.
You got
ADD?
that right. Probably.
That's okay.
And, before, well, we were filming, but
Yeah.
before we were officially filming, I was like,
Hey, I didn't notice either.
yeah, it was
I
just
did,
really
because
fun.
I
My
hit the
mom,
button.
oh, my mom texted me, attention. Yeah.
Aw.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes having a conversation with you at work can be difficult.
My storytelling skills
Or not grand.
go from here to here
Grand.
to here to here to here to the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
To the end.
That's
back
me.
to all
That's
the
me,
yeah.
though.
The middle
I
part.
feel like anyone in this podcast is gonna be
Yeah.
like, you told this story all wrong.
Yep.
Like, yeah. Sorry,
That's me
guys.
telling any story, because then I'll remember a detail. I'm like, oh, wait.
Mhm.
And then it serves absolutely no purpose to the rest
Yeah.
of the story. I just wanted to talk about it. There's a guy walking. He waved.
Oh my gosh, it looks
What
like
if he
Damien
waves to
Haas.
us?
He won't.
He's
He won't. Oh my gosh, we should
We all turned away at the same
Stop.
time.
Let's not do this.
That's okay.
But I was
Um,
like, what are those kids doing?
yeah, everyone does that.
Everybody has done that,
Everyone's like,
especially
who
the
are
first
these
episode.
children filming in a vehicle?
That's okay. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Should I do? Okay. I think since I brought this up, I have to talk about it. I didn't think about it as embarrassing at the time, but we talked about it in another podcast episode. And then we were like, oh, we'll save it. And once you called it embarrassing, I was like, oh, that actually was pretty embarrassing, which I didn't think about at the time. It was kind of just like a mortifying moment. But it was just bad altogether. So Kendall and I normally work at Vacation Bible School every summer. And so we just like look after the kids or whatever. And it was the first day last summer when we were doing it. And so it was like our first time showing up. And when it rains, normally we're at a park, but it rained. So, or it was going to rain, or I don't even remember what the deal was.
We
but-
weren't at the park for whatever.
Yeah, we were at the park for a while.
Okay.
Like we kept like meeting at the church, so we were just like in the church, and that church it's on our main street, so it has the tiniest parking lots to begin with.
No, I know what you're talking
I thought you knew a long time ago, but now you know.
Now I realize what you're talking about.
They already have like the tiniest parking lots, and we also stated in a previous episode, if anyone remembers this, that our main street had a ton of construction on it, and it's like been for the past while, and so they were working that Monday, because it was Monday actually, and it's like also early in the morning, and the night before, my our house's heater broke, or cooling air conditioning broke, and so I had to sleep downstairs, and it was like super late, and we didn't even like know that it had broken, so I couldn't sleep in my bedroom because I would have like melted into a puddle. And so I was like, didn't get a lot of sleep. It's early in the morning in the middle of the summer, and I'm not used to waking up that early anyway. There's construction happening, and I'm supposed to park. I'm a somewhat new driver. Sorry, I was cut off. Now I'm back. We're back. It touches me. Where was I? Yes. So I'm like also a new driver, because I only
6
had
months
my
ago?
No, because we were 19, so we had it for like
Wait,
a year.
a year and a half.
A year, yeah, like a year and a half. We'd had our because we got our license around the same time, me and Kendall. So I was kind of somewhat still new to driving. I'd only been driving to college, so I guess like I should have been new. But it was also summer, so I wasn't really driving anywhere. So I wasn't used to driving in general again. And there's construction, and it's a place I hardly ever go to, this church, and it's a tiny parking lot.
Yeah.
And so I was also sleep deprived, and it's early in the morning. So it's not a good setup going into it. So I remember, like, driving across the street and, like, seeing that the one parking lot, I'm like, oh, I think I can still park, like, in the regular parking lot. And then I'm like, oh, no, there are cones there. So then I'm like, frick, do I park at the gas station? Because there's a gas station right across the street. But I'm like, I don't know if that's illegal because I'm not going to the gas station. Like, I'm going across the street to the church. So then I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I turn down and go, like, to the back side of the church. And then I see that there's, like, parking spaces along the backside, which we ended up parking at later.
Yeah.
But there was a guy there directing, like, traffic to, like, park there, and I was like, so I don't know if I could park there, like, I don't know what's going on. So then I saw there was another, like, there's, like, a miniature parking lot that doesn't have, like, even painted lines. Like, it's, like, so small and, like, not for anyone to even, like, use. I don't know who normally uses that parking lot. But, and it has this metal stairwell on the one side of the church. And so I go and I park there and I see that there's like one space left and it's like super like janky between a bunch of cars, but I'm like, okay, I'll just like pull into this spot. And then I'm like, frick, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. So then I think I thought about like texting you or something. And then I like didn't. And then I saw that there was another spot like in the same parking lot, but I would have to like back up and it was like on the side. So like I would have to back up and then like turn back in to the spot. I would have to turn right into the spot. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll go there instead, because I don't even know if this is a real parking spot. Like, there's no lines here, but there were actual lines on that side, but it was like, they were also diagonal lines, so it's not like a regular, like, you just pull straight in, and I would have to go diagonal, and all the other spaces are already filled up. So I'm, like, super nervous that another car is gonna, like, pull in, because even if another car came to pull in to that parking lot, I would probably hit them while I'm backing up anyway. That too is also super nerve-wracking. And then I'm trying not to hit the cars that are parked on either side of me as I'm pulling out. And then I'm also trying not to hit any of the cars that are already parked where I want to park. And then I also have to not hit the building. But that's like behind me as I'm going to back up. So I'm backing up and I'm just like, okay, whatever, this seems to be going fine. So I remember like stopping once and being like, I think this is okay. Like, I'm already, like, a mid-turn, and I, like, stop, and I'm like, okay, I think I could, like, pull forward now, and I'm like, no, I don't think I'm far back enough, like, I need to pull farther back, so I just, like, keep going, and I'm like, I can't really see through my rearview mirrors. Like, I remember vaguely, like, looking in my rearview mirror, the, like, middle one, and being like, I don't know if I'm gonna hit anything or not. Like, I see that there's the brick wall of the church behind me, but, like, I think I'm fine. Like, I don't think I'm gonna hit it, and then I'm, like, going kinda fast back, and I just hear this giant crunch, and I like smacked in to the iron stairwell, like metal
the fire
stairwell.
Escape.
Yeah, I guess it was the fire escape. And it was just like this moment of like Control Z, go back. I wanted to like go back so bad. And then I just remember being like, frick, was that really bad? I heard it, and I was like, if I heard it, I feel like that has to be bad. So I don't even remember. I guess I think I just pulled straight into the spot that I was gonna pull into because I had enough room now that I was backed up plenty far enough. And then I get out of my car like frick. My dad's gonna kill me if this is bad. And I look at my left side tail light, and it's just completely busted. It has a giant slash through it, and I can look at my car right now, and there's still that's where that giant line is, and it completely busted my taillight. I couldn't use my blinker. Yeah, large. It was large, and then I was like, my dad is going to kill me, and I instantly was like shaking, and I felt like crying, and
called me. You scared the crap out of me.
And I called my parents after. I think I called you or before, I don't even remember. And I sent a picture to my dad, and I was like, I'm so sorry, like, I don't know what I was doing. I was like, I was nearly gonna cry, and my parents were like, it's okay, it's fine, like, just go in, do your thing, like, go help the kids first, like, go do that, like, have a good day still, but, like, we'll see it and check it out when we come back. And it was just this moment of, like, wow, these, like, 5 seconds of me backing up just, like, ruined everything. I'm completely whitewashed in the video because of the sun. It's okay. Oh, wait.
Oh, whatever.
There we go.
Beautiful.
There you go. But yeah, so that was, since we talked about it. I don't even remember, like, feeling embarrassed, but, like, it was pretty embarrassing because, like, I should have known what I was doing, and I did not. And I'm still not great at backing up, but I would like to think I'm better at that than that time.
I don't know. I haven't driven with you a lot, so...
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't.
I think you did fine when I was with you. You went straight, other
Yeah,
than backing out of your
I
driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So-
always pull through parking spots.
Yeah. I love
We love
pulling through.
them.
But I mean, I've backed up a lot. Like now I've been parking at like the more crowded parking garages at school, and I have not hit anything,
Well,
thank
that's
God, yet. So
Good.
I hope I do not hit anyone's car, because that's like my worst fear. Like at least that I didn't hit anyone or like
Yeah.
any actual person's
yeah,
car.
you're fine.
So
No harm done.
yeah, except for the money that it took to. We had to get my taillight fixed because I couldn't use my blinker
Right.
and the brake light didn't work in the back. So I had to get fixed.
It's
But now
okay.
I'm more cautious about it. So
Yeah.
learning curves, learning curves.
Yes. But so the rest of my stories are all just like uncomfortable situations.
Kendall doesn't even want to talk about it. I feel like that's
the
how you
one I
know.
don't want to talk about. So I'm gonna talk about the one that happened the longest ago.
Okay.
In elementary school, it was like me and like a couple people in like 4th or 5th grade. We got to eat lunch with the teacher or whatever.
Oh yes, that was always a special like prize.
Yeah,
that
I think it was
kids
like
wanted.
so it was me and probably about like 5 other people, maybe 6, whatever. And so we got to eat lunch with the teacher outside, and then she was like, "Oh, you guys can go play on the playground." We're like, "Heck yeah!" No, it was definitely 4th grade, but so we were on the playground, and I guess we were playing like tag or something, and then there's the kid that was at the bottom of the slide, so we were all at the top of like our playground.
Yeah.
Jess knows exactly
I know
what
exactly what you're talking about.
And we were all at the top, and then he was at the bottom, and I was about to go down the slide, but then he was at the bottom, and I didn't know, like, he came out of, like, nowhere and was at the bottom, so then I, like, stopped, and I, like, spun around, and, I, like, reached my hand up, and then there's, like, 2 guys that, like, reached their hand down
Yeah.
to, like, help me
Help you
up,
up.
and it was the guy that I liked, and then the
Yeah.
guy that I knew liked me, so I was like, oof.
Talk about a love triangle.
Yeah.
oh my-
But
So you were like, give me the other hand.
so yeah, so I was just like, all right. I remember what sides they were on too. That's
oh
so
my gosh,
weird.
it's
But
so funny.
and then it was just like my like best friend at the time that was like there. I just remember her like trying to not laugh
Yeah.
while I was like he was helping like pull me up.
Yeah.
And then we were both just like, thanks. Like it's just like
Oh,
but I'm like
awkward because you grabbed one kid's hand and didn't grab
yeah,
the other.
well because it's not like I could grab 2.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I still need to pull myself up on the
Yeah.
other hand.
Yeah.
But
Can't completely let go.
no, but it was yeah.
Yikes.
But I I just think I'm like, wow,
It's
that was the
uncomfortable.
first and last time I think no, maybe it wasn't the last time. One of the first times I held a dude's hand and I haven't since.
I don't think
The
I've
other
ever
time
held a guy's
the other
hand.
time was when
Me, I've never held another guy's hand.
the other
Same.
time was when I think it was
Oh.
with the same guy that I liked at the time. We did like one of our the sports day field day.
Yeah.
We did that game where you like have to hold hands and then get the hula hoop through
Oh,
everyone.
yeah.
And I remember like doing that, and then like
Yeah.
we held each other's hand for like an awkwardly long time, and then we like.
Aww.
But yeah, that
Cute.
was definitely the last time I held another dude's hand.
Like I made
Besides my nephew.
Oh, cute. Besides kids at camp,
Yeah. Oh my god.
our children.
But yeah. I mean the other ones, do we just go through all of them now?
Sure.
But the other one,
Yeah.
so I was
Keep it
talking to this guy, and then like physically, like in person, and
Not like talking.
I don't like the term talking, but I really don't. Anyways, so I was talking to him, and I was just trying to have a conversation with him, but he refused to like look at me. Like he just, like I was trying to like situate myself so I could look at him, but he just kept like trying to like stand next to me, and I'm like, I need to look at people
when they
talk, but that was just super uncomfy. I didn't like that. And then the last one, I was in high school, and so we had huge high school. So we had, I don't know how many kids, 800?
I have no idea.
800, 900
This
kids?
is not our second high school.
Yeah,
when our
so-
first one shut down. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on that. Because, like,
Yeah.
that is a weird thing that happened to us that I don't know.
I'm
Must have
sure
happened to.
a
But
lot
we
of
spent.
people...
Did we talk about that? We spent 2 years at our first half
Yeah.
at one high school, and then our last 2 years
At a different high school that we
was
hated.
bigger, that we do not like.
But,
And then there's me.
yeah.
And then there's
and
Halli!
then there's Halli! But,
Who
so...
we love.
This was in our second high school, and so we have this grand staircase, and
The stupidest
it's
thing to
so
waste
stupid.
money on.
So like that's where like
Ah.
everyone walks up the steps. Like if
it's
you're
in the
not,
middle of our school.
yeah. So it's like the easiest. Like that's where like you can get to the stairs easily from all like locker sections.
Yeah.
So this was in between classes, like, and I'm walking up the steps, like just mind my own business, like going,
trying to make it through the giant
literally
horde of
just trying to
children.
get up the steps, and then I hear, "Hey, Kendall," and I was like, "What?" And then this guy that I was like, I guess I liked him,
Yeah.
but like he just wouldn't talk to me, and
Yeah, it was this whole thing.
so I hadn't talked to him in a couple months because I was like,
Over it.
I was done. I
Yeah.
was done.
Yeah.
And then he just stopped and he says, "Did we have homework due in AP Lit?" And I was like, yeah. And then
You
this
always
is
have
literally
homework, you-
while so many people are walking around us. I was like,
they're
we're stopped in the middle.
of, like the hallway, basically.
And I was just like,
Of all
like
these
inside I was
kids.
dying because I was like, oh my god, we're in the way. I need to get out of the way. But he was just
Yeah,
like,
so
I was like,
casual
yeah,
about it.
we had that like vocabulary thing or whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, I didn't do that. And I was like, we're going to set, so you can probably go do it. And then he was like, okay, yeah, thanks. And then I went
Just
up.
a weird time to talk to someone.
It was so weird, but I
Yeah.
think he was trying to show. He was trying to show that
Hello?
he had. He was trying
He's trying to show.
that he had like an effort still putting into it, but and then I hung out with him in person, and then I was like, no, thank you. And that was like
The one day 15 days from now.
4 months, 5 months later.
Yeah.
That was a long time with that kid. But
That feels
yeah,
like a long time ago.
it was.
Because I remember all of that and going through all of that.
I don't know why I did that to myself.
It was rough.
Dude, don't wait
It
for
was rough.
people. Don't do it.
Did we never got Hallie's last one?
Oh,
Did
yeah, what
Hallie
do you-
have one
I have a
last
last one.
Do
Did
you want to?
Did you have
My
another
taste
thing?
in men.
That's it. Just end it right there.
That's the tweet.
That is it. Full stop.
Honestly,
Period.
I gotta
They're
say,
not even men. They're
I
boys.
can't disagree with
They're
you.
boys.
I have to say,
Of what
I
I
cannot
know-
disagree.
I'm sorry.
They're
I'm
boys. Yep.
sorry. We
We
want to
got-
thank you all for watching.
Hope you liked our embarrassing stories. You can share
Yes.
some below if you have any. I had
Definitely.
more uncomfortable things to
And
say.
we want to
but...
thank Hallie for being our first
Yes!
guest.
Thank you, Hallie, for
you.
joining us.
It was
Yes. Hopefully
fun.
you can come back for a Marvel episode.
Yes,
Duh.
definitely.
But yeah, all right.
I'll wear my
peace.
Spider-Man.
We'll see you later.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.